Hello friends, welcome back to Quick Study, and in today's video we are going to discuss the main characteristics of Indian culture. So Indian culture is a very vast culture as everyone knows about it. We are going to discuss the characteristics of this culture. We have divided this culture into mainly six characteristics, or it is categorized into six ways, and these six ways we are going to discuss in detail today. The first way of characterizing the Indian culture is calling it as a multilingual nation. As we all know that the country has various states, and all these states are divided uh, according to the languages they speak. In the Constitution of India, there are 22 major official languages, and approximately there are 270 mother tongue. And you also know that after going every 16 kilometer, or approximately, or on an average these much distances, the language keeps on changing. So this is only seen in India, and India has various types of languages such as Marathi, Gujarati, Hindi, and Assamese language, Dogri language, Kashmiri language, Punjabi, and so on. Is a very vast list, a very big list, which we, when start discussing, it will take a lot much time. So the most spoken language in India is Hindi, which is spoken by approximately 43.63% of the population, and this data is according to 2011 census, and it is followed by Bengali, which is spoken about by 8.03% of the population in India, and Marathi 6.86% people. And it is also estimated that there are 2,59,678 speakers in English. Now, the second way in which the Indian culture is categorized is multi religion. After knowing that India has a lot of languages, it is also important for anyone to know that India also has a lot of religion in its nation. So there is no official religion as such in India, but there are major religions of the world which is practiced in India. There are four main and important religions which has emerged from India as a gift to the world, and it is Hindu, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. According to 2011 census, 79.80% of India's population follow Hinduism, and Islamism is followed by 14.23%, and Christianity about by 2.30% of the Indian population, which is followed by the Sikhism, which is 1.7% of the Indian population, and so on. Like 0.70% of the Indian population is following Buddhism. So now we have also learnt about the multi-religion of Indian culture, of Indian society, and the multilingual, that is a lot of languages. Now we are going to discuss about the caste system. Caste system is also a main characteristics of the Indian culture, followed by linguistic and religion thing. So what is caste system? If you talk about India and you forget about the caste system, then it is a vague discussion, because it is one of the striking characteristics of the Indian culture. The Indian Constitution Order 1950, which had told about the scheduled caste, it had listed approximately 1108 castes in India. And casteism is a traditional Hindu society practice in which the Indian society is divided into four varnas, which is Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Let us move on to the fourth main characteristics of the Indian culture, which is intra-group cultural differences. There are various religions, various languages, and various castes in Indian society, and in these castes, in these groups, we can still divide it into further subcastes and sub religions. For instance, or for example, if there is a Brahmin community, then there will be standards of Brahmins also, that this Brahmin is a high class Brahmin, and so on, it is followed by the lower ones. So this is called as subcaste system. The fifth important main characteristics of the Indian culture and Indian society is the influence of the Western culture. Initially, in the ancient time, India was a different country, but a lot of invasions had taken place year by year and decades by decades, centuries by centuries. Then the culture of different places have also inherited in India. When we talk about the Western culture, then going back to the history, we see in the 16th century, the Portuguese and uh, Dutch arrival, and the French and the British arrival in the 16th and the 17th century had created an influence in the society of India by bringing their culture, their customs in India. Their arrival had created a cultural impact in the Indian culture. There had been several changes in the food habits and the music and dancing, clothing style, lifestyle, education, etc. Education is one of the major changes we can see, as we still follow the British culture of education. Along with it, our judiciary is also based on the British method. So we can see the influence of the Western culture in a very easy way. Now we are going to discuss the last characteristics of the Indian culture, which is contribution from various races. Sometimes it is very questionable that how did India's culture become so diverse. A lot of diversity can be seen in the culture of India. This dates back to the ancient history of India when we study about Indian culture and society. So there had been various contributions of various ethnic races. Four ethnic races we are going to discuss today. Firstly, it is Proto-Australoids. Secondly, Dravidians. Thirdly, Indo-Aryans, and fourthly, Islamic culture. So the Proto-Australoids had contributed to the art of pottery, cultivation of fruits and vegetation, and it had also developed village culture based on agriculture. And the next ethnic race is Dravidian, which had developed the city culture, and they had also built the Indus Valley civilization, and various mother tongues of southern India, that is Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, and Malayalam, are based on the Dravidian style, and they had Dravidian social customs and traditions. The next ethnic race is Indo-Aryan, which had contributed in the Vedic literature and which is the most famous one, and lot of things like the socio-economic and the cultural and the religious ideas of the various institutions had been greatly influenced by the Vedic literature of the Aryans. The last ethnic race is Islamic culture, which has also influenced the Indian society through architecture, dress, etc. Food and cuisine is also an important thing that had been taken by the Islamic culture in the Indian society. So in this video we have a detailed discussion on the characteristics of the Indian culture. I hope it is helpful for you, and for more such videos please subscribe my channel and give me any recommendations on which more topic should I make videos, and if you have any suggestions you are free to share it with me in my comment section. Thank you very much.